Hi, guys, and welcome to Sibling Studies. Class is now in session.
You want to start or should I?
Please start because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay, no problem. I'll go with it. So what I thought about actually, I saw this yesterday. Um, the I asked you, but I told you to hold your answer till we did this podcast thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, you don't do scary movies like horror movies, right?
No,
We've established
no.
this. Okay. Neither do
Yes.
I. Neither do I. I'm not built for that, but I feel as though there's a few movies I could survive, you know, like genuinely. So I'm gonna just ask you again now. Which horror movie do you think you could survive? Like why?
Final Destination,
Oh,
because it's not that scary. And I mean, the stuff that happens is not really life or death kind of things. I mean, you can always dodge it at the last minute and then wait couple days and then something tragic is gonna happen again. So I mean,
but
I guess we can just get stuck in a loop and live forever.
okay, but see, like that's what I mean now, right? See, I didn't watch Final Destination. I don't know what the movie is about. Like
Okay,
for the
so
people at the back, can you just, quick recap?
so Final Destination is basically they always doing something at the beginning of the movie. Like I think one of it they were in a bus, like this whole group of people, random people in a bus,
Mm-hmm.
and then this bus gets into an accident and everyone on the bus is supposed to die. So like the bridge that the bus is traveling on will like collapse and then everybody is hitting the water that's under the bridge and people are dying and okay, and then there's about five people somewhat that randomly or mysteriously survive this thing, and then they like, oh my god, we just had like a near death experience and we're so lucky to be alive and all of that. And then all of a sudden, one by one, in the order that they survived the event, something gruesome and disgusting is happening that would kill them. So like one guy would be randomly working a job at a construction site and then just plummet into the ground and hit like seven spiky things that those construction people were using, and then there's blood all over your screen.
Oh, so it's more like a gore than a full on horror movie, I would say.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. So you think you could survive Final Destination? Is that the only one?
Yeah. I haven't watched many horror movies.
But I'm sure you know of them, like surely.
Like I know of them, but I don't know what's the the events in the movie.
Okay, you know what?
So like that
I'm a teach
purge
you.
thing.
Oh,
Okay.
was that a horror movie?
Is it not?
I genuinely have no idea. I
Yeah,
genuinely
so
don't.
you see.
Okay, but I was thinking more along the lines of like the OGs, the big dogs, Freddy, Jason, Michael, those types of dudes, Chucky even.
Yeah, I
I was
don't
thinking
know.
those dudes, like pop culture icons. You probably know them, right?
Yeah, I know them, but I don't know what happens. Like Chucky, I know he's a creepy doll. That's it. I don't know his story. I don't know.
You don't
I'm
know his
like Chucky
story.
and Isabel are cousins at this point.
Ah, damn. Okay, that's fair. So you don't think you could take Chucky? Like, if Chucky ran up on you, you don't think like you could survive that?
Oh, I mean, I could just step on him
That's
as
what
if
I'm
he's like,
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many things. Did you watch Scream? At least one of them.
yeah, the dude with that long-faced mask with the
Yes,
knife in his hand,
exactly.
chasing like sorority girls or something.
Uh, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything about that. But yeah, the Jughead's dad. The first one. Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah, you sent me the video of that one, and
yeah.
I was like,
That was a good movie. It's not like horror. It's mostly just gore, but it's basically like a who done it. And I think I
yeah,
could survive in Scream because depending on who the dude is behind the mask, like in the first one, he fell down so many times while chasing people. Genuinely, man tripped over himself, and I was like, you know what? This is weird. Like I would survive this shit. I would. But apart from Scream, Chucky, I know for a fact I can survive Chucky. Like, if
I
you
mean,
get
you
into a high enough place, what is he gonna do?
throw a
Genuinely,
knife
what
at
is he gonna
you.
do? Right. Okay. How many knives is he gonna throw? Like,
I don't know. You could be in the kitchen. You could be in top of the fridge. I mean, endless supply of knives.
okay. The argument I think people will come at me for is that Chucky has the strength of a normal person, just in that small body. Fine. Cool. He has the strength. He has none of the height. So if I climb
Well,
some stairs and take away the ladder, he ain't getting up there.
yeah, I mean, valid point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how
I mean,
that's the thing.
he's not gonna turn into like a spider monkey or something and start climbing the wall.
Exact. Okay, I didn't watch the Chucky movies, to be fair.
Also, didn't watch
I've
it
seen
at all.
clips. What I've gauged is that Chucky's like he's like Batman. You know, he prefers to attack when people aren't ready for it. That's how he tends to get them. So if I see him coming to me, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah, I mean, Chucky is the easy one. I mean, there's multiple ways we can take down Chucky.
That's what I'm
I mean, he's
saying.
a short, freakish, tall-looking thing.
Although,
But I mean, the things I wouldn't be able to take down is like
pretty cool guy.
that snakes on the plane type of stuff and like Jaws and the piranha one. I'm out. I'm
Okay.
out. I'm gonna just die in the first 5 seconds.
I'm gonna be honest here. I did not know that there were more movies than that. That's crazy. In terms of Jaws, I can't swim, so I might die before he reaches me. Same with Piranha. Like, if I fall off the boat, I'm gonna
Valid.
drown before they swim to me. It's game over.
Valid. I just jump in the ocean at that point. Be like, make it easy for these guys.
Yeah. They're working hard, they're getting shot at. Things are
Yeah,
happening. Help
you
them
know,
out.
why have like an hour-long movie when we can end it in 5 seconds?
Exactly. Also, I've noticed, right? In horror movies especially, it's almost like they share the same brain cell. Like, it's like, if, for example, right, if you got into a house and you saw that it's kind of creepy looking, my instinct is, right, I don't need to be here, I'm gonna go home.
Exactly. I'm gonna find a better house.
Right.
But
So
no.
I don't get it.
But then, like, even that paranormal activity, do you remember that movie?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't touch anything paranormal because literally it scares the crap out of me.
When I was younger, my cousins used to like watch horror movies.
Okay.
So I was forced to watch it. And paranormal was like one of their favorites for some reason. And it's always this couple that will go looking for houses and they'll pick the most spookiest house and then the neighbors and stuff will tell them, you know what, there's some spooky shit happening here, and they're like, no, it's true, we're just gonna install some cameras. Like, what's the cameras gonna do? And
Exactly.
then the whole movie is basically camera footage.
But see, like, here's the thing: is it not like true story events type thing, or is it just like a staged movie? Because, like,
It's definitely a staged movie.
are we sure though? Because I think I steered clear of it because, when those horror movies have the based on true events title at the bottom, that's an immediate red flag on my part. I think that's why I didn't go into that movies.
Yeah, valid point.
Hmm.
But I mean, I haven't watched a horror movie that said based on true events. I don't think I have.
Really?
The movies I have watched are Final Destination, like all of them. I was obsessed when I was younger. I literally had, that DVDs with like 3 or 4 movies on one disc.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had a I had a Final Destination collection on one disc.
Wow, damn. Really showing our age already. It's only been 10 minutes. Yeah.
It should.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Now,
fine.
back in the days when we used to have DVD
Back
players.
in our day, damn. All the.
Yes, and then when I think 5 came out, I was a bit older.
Hmm.
So my dad one day was like, okay, cool, so what you want to do? And I'm like, Final Destination 5 is out. Let's go watch it. So I took him to the cinema and we watched Final Destination 5 on the big screen.
Whoa, okay,
That
that's
was,
nice. Was okay, so here's a question. You said
yeah,
there were five of them, right? That survived that plane
yeah.
crash. So does each movie follow one of them, or is it like new people each time?
Like new people. It's just the same what's the word? Like the same
Concept?
structure of the movie. Yeah,
Ah,
same
okay.
concept.
Okay,
And
that's
it's
fair.
just different people.
Okay, interesting. We can strike this
Ah, it
off
is.
our notes. For the listeners, yeah, we made notes because we have really bad memory. So throughout the week, if we
Yeah.
remember something, better just write it down. So I'm gonna keep going with my notes. And then we can go from there. Sticking with the whole movie thing. Um, what are some movies that everybody should know? Like you think, like if you mention a movie, you immediately assume that person has watched that movie, but in reality, they probably never. Do you have
Well,
movies?
I haven't encountered a thing where I've spoken about a movie and someone has been like, "Oh well, I haven't watched that." But recently, like at work and stuff, we planning like this year-end function, and they like, let's do something different instead of like a Christmas theme. So apparently, the year before they did like a safari theme, and then this year they went to do like a circus theme. And the idea of the circus theme is basically following the Greatest Showman movie.
Oh, okay, I see, I see. I remember you asked me to where to stream that. I get you.
Yeah. And then I'm like, everybody was talking about it and everybody watched it. And then this one girl goes like, well, everybody watched the movie, so they're gonna know what to dress up like. And I'm like, I haven't watched it.
I mean, to be fair, neither did I. Like,
It's not something I would watch. And they're like, why haven't you watched it? I'm like, I don't know. I watched Madagascar and there was a circus in that.
ooh, that yeah. You know what? That song already stuck in my head. For copyright, we're not gonna sing it.
Afro Circus, Afro
Ah, there we
Circus.
go. Down. Yeah, that's the one.
It's a good song.
It is a good song. It is a good song.
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
like
so
that
I'm like,
Madagascar though. Like you would imagine everybody's seen it because it's so old and it was like our generation. Uh, so yeah, you would think that everybody has seen it, but I'm pretty sure there's people that haven't, and it blows my
damn.
mind.
Please watch Madagascar if you haven't. Like, just watch it.
Yeah, I'm doing a whole public service announcement for the guys. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
If you, when it comes to like animated movies,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have watched at least one Madagascar movie and at least one Shrek movie.
Now I feel like you can't log Shrek in there because Shrek is universally watched. Everybody's seen. I cannot stress the fact that everybody knows Shrek. It's crazy. Like I'm pretty sure any random person you ask, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know that green dude." It's like the law, I think, because Shrek is crazy. Not knowing
Yeah, I mean,
Shrek, nah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna make my kids watch Shrek.
Oh hell yeah, hell
Shrek
yeah.
is OG.
I mean, Cat in the Hat too. That's a good movie.
I love Cats in the
That was a
Hat.
good
You
movie.
know,
Have you watched it
Cats
now?
in the Hat and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
The Johnny Depp
One
one.
of my favorite. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, we need to specify because I think there's a new one coming out as well. So we need to
Oh,
specify.
damn.
Yeah, yeah. But like before the whole chocolate factory thing. Um,
Oh, I want to watch that.
yeah. It's that dude, from June. Dune? I don't know my accent.
I don't know.
Timothy, the dude Timothy? Surely you know Timothy.
Nah, maybe if I see his face or something.
Yeah, you'll see his face. So yeah, it's him. He actually does look like the original Willy Wonka from like the older generation times. But yeah, he looks good. The movie looks okay, to be fair. I'm not too sure when it's coming out though. Need to check up on that.
I'd like to watch that.
That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, did you
Oh.
did you watch Cat in the Hat though? Like recently, at this current point in time,
Not recently.
you should watch it recently. Like I watched it again because I have to, and there's a lot of things in that movie that's like, huh, this is just right in your face. I never noticed this back then.
Yeah, no, I caught on those jokes like with the rake and stuff when he steps on it and
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, we get
and
that.
calls it another name,
Yeah,
like
we got that. I didn't at the time because me, I was too Teletubby brainwashed. I didn't get it, but it's fine.
yes. And then like even I think there's a few scenes in the movie where he sees the kid's mom,
Yeah.
like her picture or something, and then I'm like, damn.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that does happen. It does happen.
Yeah. So like I feel like childhood movies for me is okay, let's go like way back, right? So Cat in the Hat,
Mhm. Mhm.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Okay.
and Spy Kids.
Oh, Spy Kids was sick. Oh, you know what? You need to. I think you need to specify though, right? Because the first three Spy Kids were our time. Anything
Yeah,
after
that's what I'm
that,
talking about. I'm
anything
not talking
after,
about the new one.
it's not
I see
associated. Have you seen
I
the new
see
ones?
Netflix. Netflix has a new Spy Kids movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's something. Have you seen
And
it?
I haven't, and I actually want to watch it.
You should watch it, and then next week we'll discuss because I have some
Definitely.
thoughts on that one. It's crazy.
I saw the trailer though. I saw the trailer. And I know it's like they're kids. And I saw Priyanka Chopra, I think.
Mm, yeah, I did see her as well.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's doing the things, you know. She's doing the things. A lot of
Yep.
Indian Bollywood type people are in, movies now. I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw that um I don't know her name, I'll be honest with you, but the main girl from that movie, Rani and Rocky,
Yeah,
she
Alia
was.
Bhatt.
Oh, that's her name? Damn, okay.
Yeah, her name's Alia.
I d-
Uh, I mean it's an English movie, like a spy movie. I can't remember the name, but I saw the trailer pop up on YouTube.
it's on Netflix and Gal Gadot is in it as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of Indian people are just popping up and it's really cool. It's really cool.
I love it. I'm here for
Oh
it.
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like when I saw the trailer, I was at work because we listen to music on YouTube at work, like while we're working.
Of
And
course.
then I'm like, ads, damn you ads. And then I go to skip it and I'm like, it's a movie trailer with Alia. And I'm like freaking out over there. And they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like,
The ad really
this
caught
lady.
you.
I know. And I went back and I searched the ad again and I watched the trailer again. And they're like, what's going on? And they're like, no, this Indian lady in the movie. And they're like, yeah, there's a lot of Indian actors in like Hollywood now. And I'm like, no, she's Indian. Like she made Indian movies.
Yeah, you need to
Not like
specify that.
not like Devi that just came to Hollywood and did a whole Indian vibe. I'm like talking Indian. Indian movies in her lengas and everything, doing full on Bollywood dance numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no. I'm like, yes, you see the hype now.
Please tell me you showed them clips. Please tell me.
Yeah, I did,
Nice,
definitely.
nice. Speaking of as well, I went back to this is a weird movie to like, but I really liked Krish back in the day. I don't know if you remember that movie. Um,
Mm,
it was a Priyanka movie with Ritik, and
okay,
it was the
here's the thing,
superhero
right?
one. Hmm.
I I watched a lot of Hindi movies because I had this one cousin that was like, apart from being obsessed with Spider-Man and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was also obsessed with Hindi movies. So,
I'm gonna need you to introduce me that. I heard Spider-Man and I'm already invested. Okay.
okay, right. So, anyways, he was interested. I mean, yeah, he was like very interested in these Indian movies. And he made me watch so many. So like over the school holidays, we used to like I used to go to his house and then we used to like have the whole movie thing. Like every day we were watching movies. And I
Nice.
watched so many indie movies. I cannot tell you the names. I cannot tell you what happened. I cannot tell you the names of the actors even. I don't know which songs belong to which movies. That's how confused and jumbled it is in my head. So
I mean, I get
I
it.
mean, I don't know.
I get it. I get you. I mean, back in the day, I thought all the songs that was being used in the Hindi movies were the actual actors. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we all thought that. I'll
Oh,
I'll be honest with you. Even I did. At like one point, he even made me learn the lines of the songs, even though I couldn't sing to save my life. I still can't sing.
we don't know
And
that.
And he made me like duet it with him while he was singing the guy's part and I had to sing the girl's part. And he made like our aunties and uncles sit there and watch us.
Damn, his confidence
Like,
must be through the roof right now. I could never. One
this
auntie
man's
would
full
pop
of
out.
riz now.
Oh, that
Nah,
makes
you must see
sense.
him now.
Damn.
Now he's like, I got Bollywood in my back pocket. I can get any girl I want.
Damn. We'll call him the Rizzler.
The Rizzler.
Yeah, if we ever get him here, we'll call him the Rizzler. Unless
Mm-hmm.
unless he's undercover, we'll call him the Rizzler. Just to
The
keep him
Rizzler.
just to keep him undercover, not to expose him.
Yeah, I mean, he's very anti social media. I don't think he has any social media. He's hardly on WhatsApp. Like, to get a hold of him, I have to phone his house phone. You know, the 031
Oh
number.
wow, okay.
Yeah,
Crazy. Yeah.
that's how bad he's not here for the social media life.
I mean, I get that. That's a better life to live, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and he's born like, what is he? Born in after 2000 and something?
Oh, he's a bit young then.
He's like,
Okay.
yeah, I think this is like his first year of university.
Oh wow, okay. That's actually really young. I thought, like
Yeah.
a year or two difference from us. That's crazy.
No, but I mean, we were like no age difference mattered.
Oh, I see.
So, I mean, he's basically my age, and sometimes I forget he's younger than me.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. So,
Yeah, and he's like flipping taller than me.
yeah, no, height
So,
height is hella confusing when it comes to age, like genuinely. You'll get
so
dudes that
people
are
like,
so tall and like 14, 15 years old, and you're like, dude, what are you eating? It's
yeah.
crazy.
So like walking next to him, they're like, "Oh, are you his little sister?" And I'm like, "No, I'm the older one by a
Mm,
good few years too."
yeah, that's tough. Tough.
Yeah.
So I feel
So
like
anyway, we were talking about movies here.
yeah, but I think we covered it more or less. So I'm gonna switch the topic to you now because I have a point
Okay, wait.
for your perspective.
Before we before we leave this whole movies thing, right?
Right.
So on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
it was Friday the 13th.
It was, yes.
And I was like, guys, it's Friday the 13th. And we were like, yeah, it's spooky season. And then I come home, I'm on Instagram, and I'm like, why is everyone going to the movies? And it's a Taylor Swift movie. I'm like, is Taylor Swift acting now?
I did see
It's
posters for
literally
that.
it's literally a movie of her on tour. It's literally like a movie concert. Like like the Justin Bieber things we used to watch.
Yeah.
Like the Never Have I Ever, no, it's not called that. It's called Never Say
Never
Never.
said
Never Have I Ever. Me and Devi are
Davey,
like,
damn. You're living in your
yeah,
mind.
rent free.
Rent free.
Yeah, and I'm like, so many people went to cinema
Was it a 1 day
to
thing?
watch. No, I think it was just the first day that it was released.
Damn, why would she do that on Friday the 13th? That's kind of weird.
I know, right? I don't think she thought about it. I don't think it clicked with anybody that Friday the 13th. But I was like, damn, Taylor Swift got people like under her spell.
She's doing the things though. She's living her life. I think she's to be I could be wrong, right? I don't listen to Taylor like that. Has she come out with a breakup song in like recent times, or has it just been like funny, catchy music?
I think it's been the funny, catchy music. I think that Anti-Hero was like one of her best hits.
That's true. Ooh, shout out Joe Goldberg. I don't know if my peoples get that reference, but hopefully someone does.
I'm sure somebody will.
Okay, cool. That's fine. That's fine. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna pass the baton to you now, right? Because this is something that's bothered me as a
What?
person who doesn't read books. Well, your kinds of books, the books
My
with no
kinds of
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a out
Or
myself like that. It's fine. I'm a comic book person. I'm a out myself. So anyway, I want to know from you, right? So when you read a book, it's just words, right? I get it. It's just words. But how do people sit and lose like 6 hours just reading a book? Like it baffles me.
because it's like, how do you watch a series and then you like know one more episode, and then all of a sudden you can hear birds chirping at 6 in the morning, and the sun is like coming up, and you're like, damn, I need to sleep. Where did the night go? It's like that. It's just like we're reading and we're playing this movie in our head with all the words that's on the page, and we're just like, okay, one more page. And then
You know
it's the
what?
next morning,
I want to
we
touch on
finish
that.
the book.
That's
Yeah.
actually a good point. So you said you play the movie in your head, right? Does that
Yeah.
mean that if say we read the same book, right? Same page, whatever. The image I have in my head is gonna be drastically different from the image you have. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. So like um book talk on TikTok, that's like basically my For You page is just like people giving book reviews and stuff. I've seen multiple people give reviews on the same book, and every one of them read it differently and they experience the book differently. But if you take that same book and you make it into a movie, there's only one way everyone is interpreting it, and that's the way you put it on the.
But wouldn't it be not interpreted, sorry, wouldn't it be made as per the author's vision?
Exactly, but the author's vision and the reader's vision are not necessarily the same.
That's hella interesting. That's hella. So you telling me, right? If I'm sorry, I have to use this one as an example. If I'm reading Harry Potter, right? In my mind, I'm seeing Daniel Radcliffe, but in your mind, you're probably seeing like this really handsome. I mean, Daniel's handsome, but you know what I mean? Like this proper, like crazy good-looking dude with like round glasses. You know, for perspective, I mean, like my views and your views would be totally different. Did you cut off? You might have cut off.
Oh, sorry.
Ah,
So I was saying, especially when you watch a series or a movie that's based on the book before you read the book,
mm-hmm.
then in your head you already know what these characters look like. But then if you read the book first and then you go and watch the movie and the series, and then you're like, but that's not what I imagined them to look like.
I that actually happened when I used to read Percy Jackson back in the day. Like I read the book, and in my mind they looked like Pokemon characters, like kids, like proper kids.
Yeah,
And then when you watch the movie, it's like a Riverdale effect where they like fully grown people pretending to
exactly.
be kids.
And you're like, no, it's not matching.
Hmm. Okay, I get you. I get you there. I
So
get you.
like, recently I watched The Summer I Turned Pretty,
Oh, on Prime.
and
Is that a Prime thing?
yeah, it's a Prime thing.
Okay.
So it's really nice, and I was like skeptical, and I was like, nah, it's not gonna be my vibe. It's probably like some surfer chick and what. And then everybody was talking about it. So I'm like, okay, let's just give in, let's watch it. So I watched the entire 2 seasons, and apparently there's gonna be a season 3. And then as soon as I was done, like the next day I downloaded the books, and now I'm reading the book.
Wow. They really got you, huh?
It really got me. And when I tell you, like, it just changes the way you interpret the book if you already watched the series first. And usually I don't do that. Usually I read the book first and then I'd watch.
Hmm.
And now I'm like, the first sentence, and I already know what she looks like. But usually on the first sentence, it's just a voice in your head, and you don't know what this narrator looks like, and you don't know what her friends in the book look like, and stuff like that. So it's a whole experience.
I see. I see. Yeah, I've always found it hard. Like, I know the feeling of zoning out to a story. Like, because I'm reading a comic book, it's a lot easier to zone out because you have the thing visually in front of you. But with books, I could
Yeah,
never do that. I always found it really hard.
yeah, because it's just like words. And so I watched this video like this morning, I think, and I don't know how true this is, but this one guy was like, so when you read, like, what do you see and stuff? And then this guy was like, no, it's like full on movie. And then the other guy is like, no, but it's just like a voice in my head. And then third guy walks in the room and he's like, oh yeah, I see the movie and I hear the voices. And then they're like, oh yeah, but you don't count because you're dyslexic. And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
damn.
I'm like, what? And then he goes on, he's like, yeah, so like basically dyslexic people can render 3D images in their head of any object. And I was like, that is so flippin' cool. And
I'm gonna be
then
honest.
he's like, that's why they mix up their letters. Because their 3D brain is flipping the letters the wrong way.
That's crazy.
And that took me out because, I mean, I don't know if you remember this about me, but like in primary school, like when we were first starting to read and write, I used to mix up my B's and my D's and my P's and the Q's. I used to literally write them backwards.
Oh. Do you still do that now? Like, have trouble sometimes?
Sometimes. But like for the most part of it, I'm like good. Like, but it was so weird, and I'm like, no way. And
That's
then when
crazy.
you mentioned the 3D thing, and I was like, no. When we first learned 3D shapes, and in my head, I'm seeing boxes flipping and turning, and the pyramids moving around so I can count the sides, and I'm like, no. I was dyslexic, or partially dyslexic.
Partially dyslexic. That's a crazy moment to realize that. But geometry, damn. Geometry
Yeah.
really helped you out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was so good at geometry, anyways, in like high school.
So good at geometry?
Like, I mean, when they gave the weird diagrams with like circles and triangles and tangents, I'm like, it's so easy. I can see it. I don't even need to use colored highlighters.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But that's cool though. At least you learned something about yourself today. It only took a good couple years, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, took a good few years.
Yeah, true, true. But I mean, it's better you know it now than then.
I mean, true.
For sure, for sure. I don't even know what we were talking about. Went on a complete tangent there. My short-term memory
We're
kicking
talking,
in.
we're talking about books and how people read books differently.
Oh,
Oh shit.
yes.
Wait.
Hmm.
So, sorry,
Go
sorry.
on. No, go on, go on.
So, apparently, not everyone can read comic books.
What do you mean by that?
So, when there's like, okay, so comic books usually have a layout. So it's like page one, and then there's like 8 squares or 4 squares on a page.
Mm-hmm.
And then each square is like a different scene, basically.
Yeah.
People don't know how to read the squares. They don't know which square to start in. Like, people don't know you're supposed to go from the first square on the left to the one on the right, and then you go back down. So apparently, people were reading it from the first square on the top to the second square below that to the third square below that, and that's how it wasn't making sense.
That is wild. That is
I'm
so
telling
wild.
you.
Damn. Okay, but I
And
feel
I'm
back
like,
in the day they would have. But now it's much more dynamic now. Like you'd get like a scene, a panel where it'll literally merge into the next panel, so it's easier to like follow, you know? Back in the
okay, it
day,
makes
yeah,
sense.
the squares were just solid there, so I get back then
Yeah,
maybe it would have been
I
harder.
mean, it was a while back when somebody told me that, and I don't even remember who it was. But I was just like, no. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna show you how to read a comic book.
Hmm. Damn, do you remember what comic book it was?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be a little nerdy for another second. Speaking of comic books, right? Because a lot of comic stuff happened that's kind of noteworthy. Not recently, but it's still fairly new to some people. So, because I read comics and I watch like the shows and whatnot, it's like I got both perspectives. Do you feel like um the comic books are the same as the shows? Like if you like I had this discussion with someone else and they were like, "Oh, I never knew the comic book was made for this type of audience. I thought it was made for like these little kids. That's why we'd watch the shows and the movies." And it really got to me. I was like, "Damn, you really thought it was meant for this demographic." So what about you? You feel it's built generally for children, or are you familiar with how comic books work?
Like, okay, so I don't know much about comic books. I think I only read a few, and that was like borrowing some of your stuff from class.
Yeah, I
And
remember
like,
that. Yeah.
so that's like the only comic books I know. But I feel like it's the same with like reading books like that just have words.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily like the author would say, okay, no, it's a young adult book. But I mean, is it really?
That's
Old
interesting.
adults are watching it, old adults are reading the book. I mean,
Like that got to me. Yeah. So that's what I mean. So for example, now, right? The what happened recently at New York Comic Con about 2 days ago. There was this hype about a new Dragon Ball thing that's coming out, right? And then people were hoping that it was a new season of the anime that's gonna follow the manga, which is like the comic book to us,
yeah.
non-nerd people. So because the manga is more centered towards how old Dragon Ball used to be back in the day. Because I don't know if you've seen the newer stuff. It's like going backwards now. It's like trying to get back to the kiddie type of audience, which was never really Dragon Ball's thing. I mean, we watched it, yes, but that was a different time. So like now the argument is that the show that they revealed, it's like a more childish looking show. Like everyone's all short and children
Yeah,
again, and
you
it's weird.
see, that's the thing, right? So I want to say, like, the producers or whatever of this thing, if it's like, how do I explain it? Like,
What are we taking?
okay, let's just work with the Dragon Ball Z thing, right?
Okay.
So it was basically, it came out in like what, 1990 something?
We'll say the 90s. Yeah, we'll say the 90s, just for a
Right.
broad area.
So now, like what, 20 years later, plus minus,
Yeah,
you want to add to this. But they need to realize that the kids that watched it in the 90s are not kids anymore.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
So they need to grow with their audience. And then
exactly.
if they want the younger generation to start liking this or being interested in it, it's not gonna happen. Let's just be honest.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Like, I was chatting to someone else the other day when it released the trailer. He said to me, "When was the last time we saw blood in the newer anime?" And it hit me crazy because he's so right. They would be like fighting for their life, like dying almost, and not a drop of blood on them. It actually threw me for a loop. And it goes
Yeah,
to
valid.
say they are trying to get it to a younger audience, but I think they're making a big mistake in what the way they're doing it. Like you could make a
Yeah,
separate
because
thing.
exactly. So if you want to introduce them to something like Dragon Ball Z, create a whole new thing,
Yeah,
do a whole new thing. Don't continue from the last season or the last thing that was released because then that's not for the younger audience anymore.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's just crazy to me.
It's
Like,
like
hmm
it's like taking Cocomelon, right?
yeah, damn. Shout out Cocomelon.
I mean, Cocomelon is like for what the Y2K kids. Like the little babies now that are being born that are watching Cocomelon, and 20 years from now, they want to release a newer version of Cocomelon, but then they're doing it for babies. And
Hmm.
then these kids are like, no, but Cocomelon is our thing. How can we let this new generation watch Cocomelon?
Right. Exactly. You know who actually? That's actually a good point. I don't know if you remember Cartoon Network back in the day, like the
Yes.
shows. Uh, have you seen the shows that's on Cartoon Network like now?
No, I mean, I was out when they dropped with Adventure Time and stuff like that.
Okay, hold
And
on, hold on. Adventure Time and regular show, that's still part of our generation. Those shows
I
were
was out
good. They were
no,
good.
regular show was good. Adventure Time, I was out.
Okay, see,
I was not.
the thing about Adventure Time though, it was a complicated story, but it made a lot of sense when you followed it. Like they never showed it in order, which always confused me. But if you do watch it in
Yeah,
order, it makes a lot of sense. It's actually really nice.
yeah. I mean, Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon,
Mm-hmm.
all those guys never showed anything in order.
Yeah, it was a
And
problem.
wait, do you remember the Fairly Odd Parents?
I do, I do. Did you see the
So,
ending to that?
no, right.
Oh,
So wait.
okay,
So Netflix
right.
brought it on. And I'm like, that is so cool. Let me watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first episode
You've never seen in your
is the
life.
episode, no, is the episode with Poof.
You lie.
And Poof is the baby of Cosmo and Wanda
Yeah,
in the very first episode
Poof would have
of season one.
came. That doesn't seem right.
Exactly. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. So before I could even finish the episode, I Googled it.
Right.
It's actually episode one, season seven.
That Poof is announced. Yeah, because Poof was never
Yes,
there back in the day.
exactly. So Netflix only got rights to like the first three seasons, apparently. So that's what Google says. But what I think is Netflix only got rights to a certain amount of episodes. So they
Mm-hmm.
just took those episodes, randomly shoved it, and was like, okay, season one. Mixed stuff together and was like, okay, season two. And there's only two seasons or three seasons on Netflix.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, Netflix, if you want to do something, do it properly. We
Damn,
want to watch it from the beginning.
calling them
We don't
out.
want to watch it confused.
Okay, so since you're
I
watching
mean,
it, I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but the ending of that show was wild.
I'm gonna just like try and Google the ending or something because Netflix not gonna give me the last episode. It's
You should Google the ending. It's actually crazy. Like I was a bit stunned to speak, honestly. A lot of
yeah.
shows had like really solid endings back in the day. Like Ed, Edd and Eddie's was good. Samurai Jack. I don't know if you watched Samurai Jack.
A little bit.
That was see. Oh, you know what? Samurai Jack. They did that properly. Like they aged it to the proper age that we would have been at when that ending came out. Because
Nice.
it stopped on Cartoon Network and then it disappeared for
Yeah.
years, right? And then this is when Adult Swim popped up, Rick and Morty,
Hmm.
Robot Chicken, all of them people. And then they decided, no, we're gonna make the last season to Samurai Jack. And if you watch the last season, it's like proper mature levels. It's not like Cartoon Network level, which is amazing.
That's cool.
It was a good send off, yeah. It was like that's actually I completely forgot about that, damn. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that. It's crazy. And then
Yeah.
back to the
No.
comic thing, right? If I told
Yeah.
you I read Power Rangers comics, right? The
Right.
immediate thought with your mind is what? Like how
That you
epic
read.
can it be,
I mean, Power Rangers is Power Rangers.
Right, but the Power Rangers you're probably picturing right now is the one you've seen on TV.
Yeah, but I mean, that Power Rangers irritated me. Like, I don't know the words I can use on this podcast, but
Damn, you really hate
in
them
the
like that.
name in the name of a very empowering teacher, it was SH1T.
Wow, okay, throwbacks, crazy. But Why? Is it like you didn't like how fake it looked, or
Yes, I hated how fake it looked. Like the costumes were like so out of it. Like just animate the whole thing. If you're not gonna do for like, okay, I get the effects weren't very up to date because it was not that like technology wasn't that advanced and whatever, right? I get you.
mm.
But just animate the whole thing. Don't do that to us.
You know what? Honestly speaking, I agree. Like an animated Power Ranger show would slap crazy hard, but I don't think they had budget back then. They do probably have budget now, but it's so iconic to have
Yeah, I mean,
that fake CGI look that they're just not gonna change it. But that's what I'm saying. Like the
well,
comic is so different to the like it's the same people, the same
mm,
story, but it's done in a better way because it's not
I
like
can
you know
imagine.
yeah. So it's crazy. Like even Spider-Man, like I have a I'm gonna say it's a medically concerning Spider-Man addiction. I'm gonna say that. And
Okay.
I've read Spider-Man comics. Like they would never turn into any form of media because of how dark the story is or how weird and unwelcoming it may be. Like, okay, you've watched the Spider-Verse movie, surely.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah.
uh, the Spider-Verse comic that came out way back in the day, it's nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. Legit,
Yeah, I mean,
it's literally there's this group of vampires that eat spider people, and they jumping from reality to reality, looking for the main Peter to kill him because he's connected to this thing called the web of life, which is how they travel to and from other spider people. So they literally
yeah.
catch you. They would get rid of you, and they would eat them. And it's like, how do you translate that to a kids movie? You know,
Yeah, you can't.
that's what I'm saying. So they made
That's
Spider
like
Verse is
a kid's
amazing
horror
though.
movie.
Yeah, like Spider Verse is amazing though, right? Don't get me wrong, love that movie. But they can't copy the comics one for one because the target demographic's not the same. That's what I'm trying to say. It's crazy to think. Oh, you know what?
Yeah, I mean, and you can't really launch Spider-Man and then be like 18 plus.
It,
Kids are gonna freak out and they're gonna be like, what? No, like what they did with the Barbie thing.
oh, you want to talk about Barbie?
Let's talk about
Let's talk
Barbie,
about
right?
Barbie. Okay, go on.
So, Barbie, I'm gonna just claim it and put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Barbie is kind of like our generation. Like when the movies and stuff started coming out, I get there were Barbie dolls before our generation,
Right.
but the proper Barbie movies and stuff started coming out when we were younger. Like Fairytopia and Rapunzel and stuff like that.
I didn't watch any
So
of these, but please go on.
okay, so when this new Barbie movie launched or came out, it was targeted at our generation, at the adults of this generation.
Oh,
And then the kids, yes,
I
and
mean,
then the kids
true.
were like, well, I like Barbie too, and Barbie is for kids. Yes, Barbie is for kids, but it wasn't targeted for a younger audience.
Mm-hmm.
So they put an age restriction on it.
But that didn't stop a lot of people. Like they still
Actually,
went with it.
some cinemas took it pretty serious
I
to the
mean,
point where parents would bring their kids in and they'd be like, no, child's underage, they can't watch the movie. And I'm like, okay, but Barbie was done in a way that, yes, we put an age restriction because.
um, you kind of cut off there.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. No stress.
So they they did Barbie in a way where they put in certain things and they were like, we know what we're putting in and we know what the characters are saying, like the hidden meanings stuff. So we have to put in an age restriction. But they also kept Barbie relatable to the younger generation. So an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old can go and watch Barbie, and have a full-on Barbie experience with their parent.
That's
If you get
fair.
what I'm trying to
I
say
do
here.
get what you're saying. Yeah, they're not gonna like fully understand the meaning of the movie. Like they'll just be
Exactly.
there for Barbie.
Exactly. So I feel that Barbie movie was done in the best possible way Barbie could have been done, and like some of the themes in the movie were spot on, like the body positivity and the fact that men and women don't actually have gender roles anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very, very
Like
powerful
great
stuff.
message.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Great message, and even if like younger kids are watching it, nothing wrong with that. I mean, they also understand this stuff.
That is
But
true.
some cinemas took it too seriously to the point where people were posting videos and were like, I'm waiting out here with my kids, and they're telling me that we can't be let into the movie because of the age restriction. And it literally says PG, parental guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And this one woman was like, I am a parent and I will be doing the guiding in the movie. So why am I not allowed in? It's not like I'm sending my 6-year-old in by herself.
Right. That's fair.
So I mean, I didn't get the bodyguards on it.
Mm.
Like every other movie, you would just allow like PG-16. Okay, cool, whatever. Who cares if she's 13 or he's 13? Go in.
Mm. So it's
And then
it's like that.
all of a sudden, you want to put bodyguards outside the
Mm.
Barbie.
That's true. That's true actually. But okay, speaking of movies though, right? Since we bringing up movies, um, did you enjoy the Barbie movie? Like when you first watched it, or
I
was
did.
it like you did? Okay.
I did. It was a good movie.
Like I enjoyed it, but I kind of only enjoyed it once I got home. Cause
Why?
when I was in the cinema, cause I remember I didn't like research this movie at all. I was like, oh, it's Barbie, cool. I saw a couple memes. I was like, okay, cool. Let's for the culture, let's go watch Barbie. And then when I was in there, I didn't expect it to come through with such a message. You know, I was a
Yeah.
bit
I
stunned.
mean, myself as well. Like I thought it was gonna be like a playful Barbie movie,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was a whole lot more. It was playful. It was like the whole messages of the movie. It was like serious at certain points, and then it was very balanced. It was a good movie.
It had a lot of good songs too. Like it had
It
some
did.
good music. You know.
It did.
Yeah. Shout out Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? He went through it. He went through it. He went through it.
I
But
mean,
he's
it
good.
did.
He's good now though. He's good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's movies covered. That's I think I'm done with my list actually. I've got one more thing, but instead of
That
discussing it,
cannot be your list. Your list is
no,
like
I've done things
forever.
that are fairly important on the list, you know? Things that would have so like we kept the conversation going, you know? Um
Yeah.
but I feel like I should save some for the other recordings just in case. But I have
Okay.
one thing that I will use at the end. It'll be a
Mhm.
good thing to see in the comments what people will say. I'm gonna ask you,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna ask the people in the comments, and then next week we'll discuss that and see what happened there. Because it's
Nice.
an interesting
Okay.
topic. I don't think many people think about it when they get asked this question. So yeah, I'm gonna leave them with some knowledge, or hopefully some homework. Let's say some homework, you know, because
Yes, giving the people homework.
it's sibling
What?
studies, you know. Welcome to the lesson. So we're gonna roll with that. I think that's a good like section. We can probably end it now if you have anything else you want to add.
Like I literally only had that one topic. So I mean, depending on the time, yeah.
We're currently sitting at 55 minutes, believe it or not.
Oh damn. Okay, cool. So then maybe we can just save my gold for the next one.
We could do that. We could. Totally fine. Do you have an outro?
No, I don't
Damn.
have an intro. I
We
don't
don't,
have an outro.
we don't have an
I don't got
intro.
none.
We don't have an outro. Okay, we can say I'm gonna say the question and then you guys can leave it in the comments, whatever, the answers. So I wanna know, right? You know, people
What
will
do you want to
ask
know?
you, what superpower would you like to have and stuff, right? Cool. Most of the time, people will be like, oh, cool, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, it's already programmed. They want
Yeah.
this, they want that. But let me ask you this. what superpower do you want, and what practical use would you use for it? You know, let me give you an example.
Practical.
Let me give you an example,
Yes.
right? So, let's say I can make copies of things that I touch, right?
Money.
Immediately, I can cure world hunger. Give me one
Oh,
tomato plant, bam, 1,000 tomato plants. You know,
yo,
see,
okay, cool.
practical
I mean, I was
uses.
thinking money.
I mean, money too, but see, practical uses, right? So, that's the question of the day. That's the homework for the week. What superpower would you want, and what practical use would you have for it? There we go. I think that's a good way to end it, huh? I
Nice. I
think
mean,
that's a pretty solid way to end it. I would assume.
this one's a funny one, right?
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's a superpower, but I would like to shut people up.
Huh.
Like,
What do you
I
mean by
mean,
that?
you curing world hunger, I bring you world peace, my friends.
Okay, I see. I see you. I see you. I see you. So like the people who would be like, "Oh, I want to read minds," probably don't think like, "Oh, that's gonna really mess up my confidence," you know? That's what I'm saying. It's like people don't really think about what they're saying when they say, "No, I want powers." So that's
Yeah,
this is
I
a good
mean,
it's a good question, I feel. So that's what you're gonna do. How are you gonna shut them up though?
I'll just be like, like sympathetic, the hand on my heart, and then the other hand on, and be like, it's time to be quiet now.
So
And
are you gonna like permanently take away their voice or
just long enough so that they think about what they're about to say and realize, let's not say that.
right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair. Well, that's a good way to end it, I feel. I feel that's a good way to end it. Yeah,
nice.
nice.
And with that, class is dismissed.